Hello there everyone, my name is Identity, and due to a comment I got on my YouTube comment section video, I will be reading my first creepypasta. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Good evening there, reader, or listener. I do expect there to be more listeners than readers, as that's how nowadays these creepypastas tend to become popular. I guess I should introduce myself now, but to be frankly honest with you, I don't remember my name. You must be thinking now that my memory must be very poor if I am to forget something as simple as my own name. But to be frankly honest with you, I hadn't used it in so long that it was easier to remember my own stories rather than my own name. What was funny was, it had even taken me a while to realize I'd forgotten it. Only until one of my co-workers had forgotten it as well and asked me what my name was. Only then did I realize that I could not answer him. Now, you must be wondering what stories I was writing, if they were more important than my own name. Well, to be fair, if you're reading this now, you've already read some of them. My projects have included all of those little creepypastas you all love to read so much. Or at least, some of them. Not everything's real. But every now and again I couldn't help but to smile when I'd see a comment on a video that said, "If the person died in the end, how did the story get published?" Yes, whenever a child would blow his brains out, or a man was fidgeting too much because that tree wasn't there a minute ago, or honestly, a sleep-deprived widower afraid to look at people in the eyes. Do you really think any of them could properly write the stories themselves? I'm the one that helps fix those stories. And no, I'm not a demon or anything. Although to be fair, considering how long I've lived, and with how long I've physically stayed 12. Oh, thank goodness I was a tall kid. I guess I'm not really human anymore now, am I? But enough about that. Let's get to how I do my job. After all, getting stories from people who are unstable isn't as easy as going up and saying hi. In fact, well, every now and again, someone will put me in the story, not realizing what I'm doing. It is, after all, to no one's surprise, a rare occasion. Before some changes occurred, I mainly stuck to the sidelines and followed strict rules from whoever I was working with. Whether it was to stay in the bushes and avoid all tree lines as possible, or just staying perfectly silent in the closet every now and then, which was easy enough. After all, I had to write everything in my sketchbook. One of many sketchbooks now. Everyone's got their own. Makes it easier to help organize. I've written so many stories in these little books. I dare not throw any of them out. They're all tied to precious memories of mine now. And, to be fair, they've helped me in more cases than just one. But everything started to pick up when I finished the job from He Comes. And boy, when I finished that job, everything was different. He was so pleased with my work, and he gave me a reward. Of course, when I saw what it was, I instantly said yes. Upon coming home, I got my ass beaten. Told that that was too dangerous and to think before I act. But I wasn't going to pass up on an opportunity like this. I'm not even sure, though, what exactly happened. I think he broke a piece of himself off, and it gained its own intelligence. Or maybe he got his intelligence from me. I reached my hand out with a cut on my arm, and I could see him going in my veins. It didn't hurt or anything. In fact, he healed our wound. It was exciting, to say the least. Because to go from the lackey that writes the stories to the one that can keep up with the monsters was a nice alternative. After this event, I went back to one of my favorite subjects in school, specifically Japanese history. I had always been fascinated in their mythological beasts and legends. So, with my new abilities to transform and disguise myself, I decided to give myself a look of speed, fear, and intelligence. Despite the occasional jokes that came my way, I still prefer my canine form. Whether I'm using it to hide in the shadows, by actually being a shadow, the change from sprinting on my hind legs to dashing on all fours is enough to keep me entertained for hours on end. Everyone, as I said before, was a bit surprised by this transaction, but they quickly got used to it. In fact, it helped me get closer. When it comes to hanging around a lot of people that look strange, looking quote-unquote normal tends to make it hard for some people to talk to you, surprisingly. Afterwards, I got more work and much more recognition. And it wasn't really just because I looked the part now. It was because all of a sudden I became really good at my job. It's also great for when someone gets a little brave. Not everyone can run forever, after all. We do come to exhaustion as well, albeit with a little bit more energy than humans. But regardless, It's much easier to be in two places at once when you can be in two places at once. That's enough for now. I've got to get back to work. Oh, and if you wanted to ask if I regret making these decisions, and if you think for a second that giving up my name for all of this wasn't worth it, no. Don't worry about my name. Just call me Memory.